There is something happening right now that most people cannot name, but almost everyone can feel. Something is off. Not in one place or one system, but across everything. Across culture, across religion, across identity, and across all that we have been told is true. And what most people sense, but cannot locate, is this. What we were given is not what was originally established. Not because truth disappeared, not because God changed, but because over time, quietly, gradually, something else took its place. That is what this channel is about. If you have ever sat in a church service and felt like something was incomplete, if you have ever read scripture and felt like what you were being taught and what you were reading did not match, if you have ever sensed that your true identity before God has been buried under religion, tradition, or the teachings of men, this is for you. You are here because something in you recognizes that there is more. More than what has been accepted, more than what has been practiced, and more than what has been passed down. And you are right. This channel is built around a work called The Remnant, the Gradual Replacement of Truth, written by Mel Johnson and published by Alignment Publishing. The Remnant was not written to introduce something new. It explores the gap between God and humanity, how truth itself, God's standard, God's covenant, and God's identity for his people has been quietly, consistently, and systematically replaced. Not destroyed, replaced. And it calls for something deeper than understanding. It calls for alignment. The word remnant deserves a closer look. It is often heard as a word of reduction, something left over, something diminished, a fragment of what once was. And in one sense, that is accurate. But in the context of God, the remnant is not what was thrown away. It is what was kept. Not by chance, by design. Set apart, sustained, and established according to God's purpose. Throughout Scripture, this pattern holds. When corruption covered the earth, preservation was not found in the masses. It was found in one family. When Elijah stood alone and believed he was the last faithful man on earth, God revealed that 7,000 had not bowed their knee to Baal. What appeared to be isolation was actually preservation. God has never measured faithfulness by volume. Truth does not require agreement to remain true. It does not adapt. It does not bend. It does not evolve to accommodate preference. It remains. And those who align with it will often find themselves moving against everything else. The remnant is not found in comfort. It is revealed in pressure. It emerges where compromise is common and conviction is rare. To remain aligned with the truth requires resisting what has been normalized, rejecting what is widely accepted, and standing when it would be far easier to adjust. And here is where deception takes root. The greatest threat to the remnant has never been outright persecution. It has been something far more subtle, far more dangerous. Replacement. Truth is rarely attacked directly. Instead, something else is introduced. It appears reasonable. It appears beneficial. And it appears harmless. But over time, it assumes the place of what was originally established. God is not denied. He is repositioned. Truth is not rejected. It is reinterpreted. What was once clear becomes obscured, not because it changed, but because something else took its place. This is how it happens. Not suddenly, not violently, gradually. What was once practiced without question becomes the standard. And once it becomes the standard, it is no longer examined. It is simply lived. This is the nature of tradition when it is left unexamined. It can shape belief, not through revelation, but through repetition. Jesus said it plainly. What men establish can replace what God revealed. Not always through rebellion, sometimes simply through repetition. Over the coming weeks, this channel will examine what the remnant was written to address, who God's people actually are, how truth gets replaced without announcement, what covenant and alignment actually demand, and what it means to return. Not to religion, to relationship. Not as an obligation, but as a matter of truth. This is not about finding a better church or a better system. This is about recognizing that what has been accepted in many cases is not what was established, and having the courage to examine it. At the end of chapter 1, the book asks a simple question. Are you his remnant? Not are you religious? Not are you a member of something? Not have you been baptized? Are you his remnant? The remnant is not defined by perfection. It is defined by response. They are those who hear and return, who see and realign, who recognize and move. They remain not because it is easy, but because they are anchored to something that does not change. Throughout the pages of this book, one portrait emerges, confirmed by scripture, repeated throughout history, and as relevant today as it has ever been. A faithful remnant stands apart, overlooked, often dismissed, yet unmoved. Their calling is simple: to remain, to discern, and to endure. Because truth has not been lost, it has been replaced. If you have ever sensed that something is missing, this channel was built to help find our way back. You are not alone, and we will walk this road together. The Remnant, the Gradual Replacement of Truth, is available now. The link is in the description below. Subscribe to this channel. New discussions every week. We are just getting started. This is Yah Will Rise, returning to truth through alignment.